Hey, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about just the questions and answers you guys have. There are a ton of ski deals still. They are kind of like lingering and in this weird limbo, but I know you guys have questions. I know you want help buying skis, and I am pretty sure in the next few days or by next week, we are going to be seeing some big ski deals with Black Friday. I know for sure by talking to some insiders that they are planning on launching Black Friday deals. So like they kind of put a bunch of deals on and then took them away, and now they're launching them for Black Friday. I don't love that practice, but at least I know it's coming so I can help you guys. So I'm gonna answer your questions, help you with any questions you have about making ski purchases. Just, I don't know, it's my way of giving back, so I wanna help you guys out, and that way you're ready for next week when Black Friday comes. I will say too, keep an eye out for my deal videos. I will have at least one or two in the next week because there's stuff coming down the pipeline and deals that you guys can take advantage of. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. First comment comes from Surf Marco. They say, Rickety is becoming our one-stop shop for ski reviews, news, and discount deals to peruse. Ooh, I like that. I think I picked that one because of the rhyming. That was very cool. Yeah, that's a very nice comment, thank you. Oh, discount deals. Yes, I remember why I like this comment. So, I was looking. Last week I talked about how Evo had the Atomic Vent 110 and the QST 98 on like steep discount, and then they put it back up in price. And a lot of the comments point out the Ski Essentials had it for a good deal and Evo didn't, which is fine. Like I just want you guys to get a good deal. I don't always love it because Ski Essentials doesn't do the affiliate program with me. So when you guys redirect people from, you know, one of my partners out to Ski Essentials, I don't know. I don't love it because it's like, oh, well, that would have supported the channel, but now it doesn't. But at the same time, like, I want to understand wanting to get a good deal. So I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, but I just let it slide. I'm like, okay, whatever's gonna get you guys the best deal, I think that's awesome. And you know, don't spend an extra 50 bucks just so like an extra 5-10 bucks can go to the channel. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, do whatever you need to. I completely understand. But when I went to research the Atomic Vent 110 again, well, Ski Essentials must have had the same thing that happened to Evo because they brought their price up. It went up from like $379, I think, don't quote me on that, up to $429. So it appears that they also raised their prices in anticipation for Black Friday. But out of all of these, the people who are really holding strong is Utah Skis. They brought their Vent 110 down to $389. Down from, I think they had it at 500 before. So if you're looking for that Vent 110 deal and you don't want to wait for Black Friday, hop on Utah Skis. Max, you're gonna save what, like 15 bucks, and you'll probably get the size you want. Utah Skis is a partner, and we do have an affiliate code, so I'll put that down below. And on top of that, they are the most generous with their affiliate code. They support us the most percentage-wise. I do tend to use Evo just because I feel like it has a lot of the things I need. They have really good customer service, but if you're looking for the best deal right now, that is 100% Utah Skis. They're cheaper than Level 9, they're cheaper than Backcountry, cheaper than Ski Essentials, cheaper than Evo. Utah Skis, you can get a Vent 110 from 2024 where they didn't change anything, just the graphic, for $389.97. So anyway, go check that out. That's my rant. Okay, the next comment comes from PepPlanas8806. They say, hi there, I'm really interested in the Black Crows Octo, but I've read several articles that consider it a ski that cannot charge at all and can be easily overpowered. I am intermediate to advanced, 182 centimeters, 80 kilograms. I understand the height, I can't. I've got freedom units in America, so I don't know the weight. But you highlighted that it behaves well even on high speed and stability is not an issue. Did you notice any of these? Thanks. I have gotten a couple comments like this where people cite reviews that say it can't charge and it's easily overpowered. Please, when you say stuff like that, send me it, because I could not find a review that said that. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place, but whoever said that the Black Crows is easily overpowered, I don't know what they're talking about. That ski, I skied it hard, I skied it fast, Zach skied it. I mean, like if you're skiing it in a 172 or whatever and you go 50 miles per hour or whatever on a GS Super G hill, sure, maybe like you don't want to go, but like I was on the 180 and I loved it. I really did not feel any of what you're talking about. It charges fast, it skis fast, it carves well. I mean, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'1", 235 pounds. I could not overpower that ski. I don't know what these people are talking about. What I would guess is happening, if I'm being really cynical, is probably somebody read the spec sheet, somebody read what Black Crows wrote about it, and they didn't actually like put it on their feet, or they're not experienced, but I was not able to overpower it. Maybe if you're not carving and the ski's not initiated, I don't know. I cannot guess where these people said that the ski is easily overpowered. It is not. It can get into a short radius turn quickly. It's really stable at speed. It carves well. It's got good diversity in its turn shape. It can do the short radius turns, but it can feel smooth when you open it up and give it some speed. I'm a big guy. I have a racing background. I carved hard on it, and I at no point felt like I was overpowering it. I have had skis like that, like the Headcore 87, where I'm a little bit bigger, where I felt like I was overpowering it, and in really soft snow, the Maverick can get hung up on things, and so that gives you a weirder feeling. I've had skis where I felt like that, but this was not one of them. I think maybe what's happening is reviewers go, oh, there's no Titanol, easily overpowered. It's like, that's not true. The wood is very strong, very stable. Yeah, I mean, I loaded that thing up. I took it on a speed test. You can see me skiing it, and I at no point felt like I was overpowering the ski. That's total nonsense. The only thing I would say maybe is happening here, or if I'm like trying to read between the lines of this review I can't find, my only guess is that the ski style is that it's not a crud cutter, right? If you're looking for like a Volcom Mantra, a Volcom Kendo, a K2 Mindbender, a Stokely Stormrider, something that is like a true crud cutter, when the snow is really soft in the spring, or when it's like melts and refreezes and it gets really chattery, sure, you probably want like a designated crud cutter for that, or specific parts of the world have that kind of snow. But for out here in Idaho, or like a well-groomed run in Vermont, no issues at all. Yeah, but it's not like a big, thick, heavy metal damp ski, and some people prioritize that, and maybe they're misunderstanding that as overpowering or underpowering. So it's not like the dampest or quietest ski, but it wasn't any louder than my Atomic Mavericks or anything like that. These skis skied phenomenally. They felt great. Yeah, no issues. I don't know. If somebody took it to like Mount Hood in the summer, when the snow was like really wet and then it refroze at the end of the season, maybe you'd feel some of that, but that's just like bad snow conditions. And in my opinion, the snow conditions would have to be pretty bad before you even start to notice it. And most skis you would notice it, other than the ones I outlined before. So great question. I don't know what they're talking about. Those Black Crows Octos are amazing. They're very versatile. They've got a great turn radius. They're really fun. They were my ski of the year for 2025. And I think if you paired them with a nice powder ski, that's probably the best 2-ski quiver I could think of. Watchdog 2024 says, is it just me, or does the idea of replacing a $400 to $800 boot every year seem unrealistic for most people? Yeah, that's a great comment. This is from an older video where I'm talking about boots. I don't think everybody needs to replace their boots every year. I would guess that it 100% just depends on how many days a year you ski and how long are those days. That's the problem, right? People's years look vastly different from person to person. I know Jeff at Ski Essentials, he replaces his every year. I am probably going to replace mine every year to 2 years, just depending on how the season goes. There's a lot of factors. Like, for instance, where I am in Idaho, we get bluebird days, which is great, but there's a lot of sun, a lot of UV light. Additionally, since I started doing ski reviews, I've started skiing anywhere between 75, 79, and 100 days a year. Now, some days are longer. On an average day, I'm probably skiing 4 to 5 hours, and some days I can only get up there for an hour and a half really quick. A lot of times that's just for fun and my own mental health. I'm like, okay, you know, an hour and a half of skiing is better than nothing. I'm just gonna go up there, take some laps, feel good, and then come back down. Because for me, it's important. When you're down in the gray winter, it's nice to get up into elevation and have some sunshine. I would say that like within the year, maybe a year or 2 years, I need to replace my boots because they just get so much mileage, but a lot of it depends on person to person. I think maybe a better way to think about it, and it's hard because when you store them in the summer, that does add to the wear and tear, is that you probably can get like 400 to 500 hours of skiing out of each pair of boots. I'm sure someone smarter than me would say that this is totally wrong. Right, so if most people ski an average of, let's say, 4 to 6 hours, 100 days of that I bet would wear out your boots. Depending on where you are, how extreme the temperature swing, how you store them, how you take care of them. But I would say that's a good rule of thumb, just shooting from the hip here, probably 400 to 600 hours. But you know, it's always one of those things like, okay, well, if I could stretch it another year, it's like, okay, but if you have a bad season, was that really worth it? You spent all this money on tickets, skis, you know, snow tires, getting up the hill. It's like, okay, cutting corner on your boots, that's the one thing I wouldn't do. If you were like, oh, I want to get another year out of my mittens, or I want to get another year out of my jacket, and it's keeping me warm enough, it just has some holes. Yeah, like those are things that you can stretch out, but like goggles, ski boots, bindings, stuff like that, it's like, oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth, like, either one, you're not gonna have the performance you want, or two, you could get injured if things aren't working properly. I don't know. I would say 400 to 500 hours. If you're at like 380 and you're gonna ski more than 100 hours the next year, maybe just move on. Or maybe if you know, if it's 400 to 500 and you're at 400, I don't know, maybe just be proactive. I've done that recently with my car. I had brake pads that they're like, well, you could get another month, and I'm like, I don't really want to be replacing these mid-winter. Same for my battery. My battery, it's like, oh, you can maybe get another 9 months out of your battery. It's like, okay, just swap it out now so I'm not changing batteries in the snow. As I get older, I'm starting to get smarter. I'm like, okay, I've done this. I've changed alternators at Thanksgiving. I've changed batteries in January with my hands freezing cold. You know what? It's like, just be a little proactive and save yourself some hassle ahead of time. And that's very similar to how I feel about boots. Ooh, this was kind of a nasty comment. 1002 WJL says, reviewing only the brands that support you is not representing the market. FYI, all caps. Not only is it nasty, it's very untrue. This is on my powder skis of the year video. I don't know if this person just didn't watch any of my content or just doesn't have good comprehension of what I'm talking about. But on that video in particular, my skis of the year for powder skis, I paid for at least half of them, right? The Atomic Bent 110, I paid to demo myself. Atomic doesn't support me at all in any way. They let me review a pair of Mavericks early on in the channel, which I do appreciate, but they haven't done anything with me since. The Salomon QST 106, I paid to demo the 98s and then bought the 106s out of my own pocket. I in no way was supported on that. Like, I don't know how much more you could pay for something. I paid for the skis, I paid for the bindings, I paid to mount the bindings. What on earth are you talking about? And yes, Peak sent me those, but how else was I supposed to review them? There's no local Peak dealer near me. It's a small independent brand. And then what was the other one? Oh, the Black Crows Atris, but Black Crows sent that to me and then I sent it back in the mail to them. I wasn't given the skis or supported by them. They're a great company and I'm happy to work with them in that way, but like, you know, I still paid for the gas to drive them back to FedEx, loaded them up, sent them back in the mail. I don't know. There's no winning with these people, right? It's like, what do you want? If you want a ski review like that, then like, okay, go watch any of the hundreds of ski shops that make ski review videos and I'm sure they'll be happy to sell you something. A lot of these brands, they just get their sponsored athletes to make a review of the video. What you are like, this is the best example of preaching to the choir I have ever seen. If people really feel that way, I guess I just wanted to break the delusion. Usually when people leave nasty comments, it's like, I'll just hide them because they have no merit. But this is something I think is like good to address, because if people really think that I'm only representing brands that support me, that's not even remotely true. Now that being said, I do prioritize the brands that work with me. Like, if I have a ski in my shop ready to go, that's a lot easier than me demoing it for the day and having it for a limited amount of time. And eventually, in fact, probably within the next few weeks, I'm gonna hit a point where I hit my limit for skis I can review, and the companies that don't wanna work with me are just gonna miss out. But up to this point, I have gone out of my way to not only disclose any affiliation or relationship, or if the skis are sent to me, I completely disclose that. I don't know how much more transparent or ethical I could be. All right, on my video, I'm done hating ski reviews. Murray Peep says, does this mean I can buy Enforcers now? I gotta say, I laughed at this one. Yes, I mean, you could always buy Enforcers. You can buy whatever you want if it fits you and suits you. I don't care what you buy. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. I do actually really love the 2025 Enforcer 99s. I think if you're looking for a crud cutter, it's like a stellar option between that and the Volcom Mantra. You've also got the K2 Mindbender, but K2 stuff is made in China and it's not well supported. I've seen some pushback. Oh, well, they're designed in the US, but then they're manufactured in China. And if you see the shop, they own that shop in China, and they do a really good job. It's like, it doesn't matter. Do you know? Well, why do they have to go to China? What, oh, they own the shop in China, whatever. But why do they have to do that? Cheap labor. 100%, that's it. It's like margins. That's the only reason you do that kind of thing, because you don't care about the quality and you care about your profits and you don't care about paying people a livable wage. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that like, oh, well, you know, they just got to stay competitive. It's like, no, you don't need to do that to people. You don't need to have work conditions where people are just barely getting by, or you're exploiting another country's economy and you're taking jobs away from US ski makers, or, you know, work environments that are ethical. I don't have any problems with even like European ski makers, but those people are paid a livable wage. These Chinese sweatshops, they don't make a livable wage. They don't have ethical work conditions. That's why they get pushed back. Oh, cool, they're designed in America. Ugh, I don't care. And I've firsthand witnessed them have terrible customer support and not help people who have legitimate warranty claims. So anyway, okay, what was I talking about? Nordica. Yeah, the Nordica, sorry, that's a KT, right? The Nordica Enforcer 99 though is probably one of the best kind of remodels of a ski. It gives you all the energy back out of your tail. It's damp without having to feel deaf. I feel like it has all of the good things I felt in the 2024 Enforcer 100 by just giving it a lot more pop and feel in and out of the turn. I don't know. I really like the 2025 Enforcer 99. The access I'll have to Nordica skis in the future is kind of up in the air. I like found somebody who gave me an insider access that they had to their Enforcers, so that's how I was able to do the review. Hopefully I can get that again this year, but I'm like having to take a lot of these back alleys because I hurt Nordica's feelings with my 2024 review. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I like the 2025 Enforcer 99s. I think they're tremendous, and you know, buy whatever skis you want, whatever makes you happy. All right, Phil Wistrom 9200 says, got the 110s last week based on your video for $375. Thank you for pointing out the discounts. Yeah, that's a great find. And you know, I think people kind of went, oh well, now it's back up. Don't miss out. Utah Skis has it for $389. Okay, it's 14 bucks. I don't know. Wait, what do you want? You're gonna get the inventory. You don't have to wait till Black Friday. You don't have to like refresh your cart because the servers are slammed. You don't have to like play these games with everyone else. You can just get them right now for $389. Anyway, if you're looking. But Phil, I'm glad I could help you. I'm glad I was able to make that video and you got a sweet deal. And for everyone else, you know, I that's why I do it. You know, it's like I could easily be like, oh, don't get the 2024. The 2025 graphic looks better. And I do think the graphic looks better. That black space look looks fantastic on the Bent 110s. But that doesn't matter. Half the time it's covered with snow. Get yourself a good deal. You know, that's my priority. Get skis that you like, skis that you'll use, and get a good deal when you can. And for this year, that's like 6 months out of the year, apparently. So anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. That's a free way to support the channel. Also, I'm gonna do a special. I just thought of this off the top of my head, but I'm gonna do it for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, leading whenever Black Friday stuff ends, right? So I'm gonna do this until December 1st. I will answer everybody's ski recommendation questions. Now, normally that's something I reserve for channel members. If it gets too crazy, I will just do as many as I can. But if you ask me a question about ski recommendations, I will answer it. The only thing I ask is that if you are going to ask me for a ski recommendation, please use the affiliate links, right? Like, it supports the channel a little bit. It keeps things going long term. I'm happy to do it for you. I'll take time out of my day whenever I see the message and I will answer your question. I will try my best. If you ask me about a ski that I haven't skied on, I'm gonna tell you, I'll be honest. So keep that in mind. But if you guys want ski recommendations for the next 2 weeks, just while skis are still cheap, I will help as many people out as I can. So feel free to email, feel free to leave a comment. Whatever you want for ski recommendations, I will do it. And on top of that, if you are a channel member, I will prioritize it. So let's say I get 100 of these messages and 20 of them are members. I will do all of the member questions and then go down the line to whatever's left over. So if you're like, I want to do this, but I want to make sure this question gets answered, or I want it answered within like, you know, a couple of days of asking it, I don't want to wait for it to be on a video or whatever, I would like consider being a member because I'll prioritize it that way. But like I said, I don't know. There's so many good deals. And I know it's hard to like test all these skis. There's so many different types of skis. If I can help you, I absolutely will. So that's something I'm volunteering. Maybe I'll regret it, but I wanted to volunteer that to you guys. And if you take advantage of that, just, I don't know, consider using the links, because that really does make a difference for me long term, as far as like being sustainable and being able to spend a lot of time on these videos. So, and like a lot of time answering emails. My God, sometimes I get so many emails, I'm like, I have to stop emailing people because I want to make a video. But besides all that, just thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video. It means a ton to me. I hope you guys are all excited for ski season. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.